Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is going on? I hope everybody's having a wonderful week. I was going to say weekend, then we're not quite there. We've still got Friday, Saturday to come. But I hope everyone's having a great end to the week. Obviously, if you're not familiar with myself, I'm a new face on the channel, coming on here to do live streams, talking all things Liverpool, match reactions, preview shows, loads more content coming onto the channel. I've just joined up with the guys at LFC News and I'm delighted to get involved and I can't wait to get started. If you're not familiar with me, I am SMX LFC on Twitter. You'll probably have seen some of my tweets rattling people or even arguing amongst our own fans, to be honest, because there's a lot of wild opinions out there. And I guess that's the whole beauty of social media and the whole joy of YouTube. I guess everyone gets to share their opinions, and this is what this is going to be all about. It's not just me talking to you guys. I want your guys' opinions. I want your guys' thoughts. I want to do this together. I want to get your comments up on the screen. As you can see, there's already some in here, which is amazing. And we've got so much to discuss today. We've already got some Trent news that just came out this evening. We've obviously got to just briefly touch over the game yesterday. We've got a player that's returning back from injury. Salah's breaking records left, right, and centre. A Liverpool player of the month, and then a game coming up on Saturday, plus loads more to get through. And like I said, I'm going to need your help to discuss all things Liverpool today. If there's anything that I've not covered that you want to discuss, let me know in the comments. And yeah, make sure as well you're smashing the like button. That is the most important thing. Smashing the like button would do us a massive, massive favor. And subscribe if you're new and if you enjoy the content. So first of all, we've got Shadley Morgan says big up. We've got Jen who says big up. And Kevin Miller, I think that's how you say your name. It's hilarious. Madrid signed a PRICK from Birmingham and have to sign Trent just so someone will talk to him. Well, we'll discuss that. We'll get into that because there was a big tweet that sort of broke the Liverpool Twitter sphere, but there's been a follow-up tweet as well from a very reliable source. And Jen says, "What's the crack with Trent and what about Virgil and Mo?" Well, let's get straight into it, guys. Let's not hesitate and let's get straight into the juicy stuff, and we will discuss this news, bro. Here we go. This is the big tweet that sent everyone into meltdown this evening. Breaking news: Real Madrid have taken further steps to sign Trent. There have been several contacts to see the situation. Trent has not answered a proposal of a renewal with Liverpool, and the latest offer came last week. First things first, I want to know your guys' opinion on that. After you've smashed the like button, that's the first thing I want you to do. Then I want to know your opinion. I want you to tell me if you believe this. I want you to tell me if you think Trent's going to sign with Liverpool, or I want you to let me know if you think Trent's going to go. I've got my opinion. I will share it with you guys in a moment. But this tweet itself, yeah, I mean, it's not really a surprise if Real Madrid are monitoring the situation. We've heard that from many reliable sources, obviously from Fabrizio Romano being one of the main ones, that Real Madrid are, of course, looking at the situation. Trent Alexander-Arnold, one of the best players on the planet, is out of contract in 6 or 7 months. That's a fact. So Real Madrid, being the biggest club in the world, are obviously going to be looking at that. They're going to be taking that into account, and they're going to be thinking, is there anything that they can do? Similarly, if a world-class player became available in 6 months or 7 months' time, we'd also be expecting Liverpool to, be looking at that player. So it's just natural. It's just normal for Real Madrid to have interest in one of the best players in the world. And it's just interesting, the timing for me. The timing to this is very interesting. Real Madrid lost yesterday against Lille, and this comes out today. By the way, guys, let me know if the connection's all good, because yeah, that always sort of worries me. Let me know in the chat. That would be massively appreciated. The timing to this is very strange. They lost in the Champions League to Lille, and the next day they get a bit of news about Trent Alexander-Arnold being in talks with them. So it's very strange for me. And Mumbai says he will sign for Liverpool. Let's all hope so. That is my personal opinion too. I still believe that he's going to extend with us, and he will be a Liverpool player next season. That's what I think anyway. That's what I hope. And Jen says the journal is Madrid-based. Exactly. This is exactly why I would be quite hesitant with this source. It's a bit of PR for me. Again, that could be completely wrong. This could be legit, but in my opinion, I do believe that this is a bit of PR. Quickly forget about the Champions League defeat, get the fans back on board, and they can go again for the next game. That's what I think anyway. Lee says, Trent has won everything out there with us, and maybe he's looking for a new challenge. Of course, there is that. There are 100% is that you have to consider. Trent's completed football at what, 25 years of age? Not many football players can say that they've done that. Not many football players in world football can say, I've won the Premier League, the Champions League, the FA Cup, the League Cup. I'm now getting in my international team because that clown has gone that wasn't playing me. You know, there is that element that Trent could go on to do other things with Mbappe and Bellingham and Vinicius Jr. and so on and so forth. But Trent's only 25. This is his football club. He got made vice captain last season. He knows when Virgil van Dijk leaves as well, whenever that day may be. Hopefully not anytime soon. But Trent's going to outlast Virgil in terms of his age. So for me, I just feel like Trent thinking as long as we go in the right direction, which I think we are, but again, it's too early to tell. I think Trent will love to be Liverpool captain. He'll love to be that sort of face of Liverpool Football Club and, you know, lifting trophies, wearing the armband. It's like Stevie said, winning one trophy with Liverpool was worth more than, you know, 10 for somebody else. And yeah, I do believe that there is loyalty still in the game. Of course, it's not as not as much as it used to be. But listen, I just can't see a world where Trent goes to Madrid. Well, I can, but you know what I mean. I just can't physically vision it. It makes you feel sick. And Trent Alexander-Arnold, if you didn't know, he is one of my favorite players. He is my favorite player, and I do have a signed Trent Alexander-Arnold card. I just thought I'd show you guys that. I am a Liverpool trading card collector. So Trent is one of my favorite players to collect, and I just love him. He's my favorite player in real life as well. Real Madrid are like vultures, Mark says, and just want to pick the cream of the crop without having to pay a proper transfer fee and get in the ears of players 100%. And you know what's annoying about this? A year or 18 months ago, when we were all like watching Jude Bellingham and Jordan Henderson all in Trent Alexander-Arnold celebrate together, take pictures together, put Instagram posts up together. We're all thinking, you know what, Jude's coming, and this is like a nice bit of communication from Trent and Hendo. This is probably going to be the other way around now. Bellingham's probably doing the exact same thing to Trent, telling him to come to Madrid, and they can build a ridiculous team together, and they would if he went there. But guys, let's not be all doom and gloom. This is what I tried to tell my followers as well, because Fabrizio Romano came out and said this. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Sorry. That is the wrong one. That is a good quote. We'll read this anyway, but we'll get on to what he said today in just a moment. So Trent said this a few days ago. I've been at Liverpool for 20 years now, and I've signed 4 or 5 contract extensions, and none of them have been played out in public. This one won't be either. So Trent was obviously quizzed about his contract situation and what's the next steps, and is he going to sign it? Is he going to go? And he basically just told them, nah, I don't do this in public. This is going to be behind closed doors. So he said that. That's come out of his own mouth, and his agent is his actual brother. I can't see, you know, when people say like it's agent talk or it's whatever. If your agent is your own brother, even if Trent was going to go, and I think his name's Tyler, knows that he's going to go to Madrid, out of respect to the club that literally made him the player that he is, and that is a fact, I don't see them going to Real Madrid mouthpieces and telling them updates about the situation. I think that they will get the information if he is going to go sort of as it's happening and when it's happening, not 6 or 7 months before. That's how I feel. I feel like Trent, even if he was going, he'd still be loyal and respectful to the club and do it in a way it wouldn't get out like this, not to those sort of weird sources anyway. That's how I feel. I could be completely wrong, but they're both Liverpool lads. I don't see them going to Real Madrid mouthpiece and saying, yeah, look, we're coming. That's how I see it. Let me know if you guys disagree, but that is what I see. I'm trying to find, I did line up another tweet. Just give me one moment whilst I try and find it. It was from the Anfield Talk because Fabrizio Romano went live on YouTube, I think, or he did a YouTube video. Here it is. It's this one. I'll read your comments out in a moment, guys. By the way, there's quite a few of you in here. Make sure you, first of all, smashing the like button. Make sure you're leaving your comment. letting me know exactly what you guys think. It will be impossible for me to get through every single comment, every single stream. But if you guys did have a super chat, just know that that super chat would be prioritized above anything else. This is not me saying you need to super chat. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's not a requirement. I love reading these comments. I'm just saying if you did, that would never get ignored. Not that these ones are getting ignored. There's just so many on there. So that's the rule, obviously. So yeah, it's amazing to see so many of you guys in here. Keep smashing the likes and keep leaving your comments, and we'll have a great conversation. So TAT did a quote from Fabrizio Romano's latest YouTube video, and it says, Real Madrid are not negotiating with Alexander-Arnold. What happens in the summer depends on Liverpool, because Liverpool have the priority. They are talking to Alexander-Arnold and are going to have more conversations. Now, it's not actually clear what the last bit's on about. How do you guys see that? Where it says they are talking to Alexander-Arnold and are going to have more conversations. Is that Liverpool or is that Real Madrid? I'm not too sure. Let's read a couple more of your comments. Scott says Madrid are not doing things right and Trent should tell them to do one. Yeah, I agree. But if Trent's open to leaving, if he doesn't see that Liverpool are going to offer him the right deal, if he doesn't see that Liverpool are going in the direction that he thinks we should be, which I think we are, but if he doesn't see that, then he's not going to tell him to do one, is he? So, yeah, I agree with you, but I don't see that happening. This comment says FSG are dumb if they don't give him all the money. It might not be about the money, to be fair, mate. It might be a project thing. It might be an opportunity to go to the biggest club in world football, which they are, as much as it pains me to say that. I don't necessarily think it would be a money thing. To be honest, I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is one of those rare sort of players where you just give them whatever they want. Maybe not for Liverpool and for FSG, so you might have a point. But yeah, I don't think FSG would let him leave, and I don't think Liverpool would let him leave over money. I think if it was just a case of giving 300 grand a week and he's going to sign the dotted line, I think it would happen. So yeah, let's just hope. Jen says Trent at Madrid, more likely them signing Eddie the Duck. Okay, fair enough. And Data says, I'd love Trent to stay. He's the heart of Liverpool for me. I've watched his entire career, and I think he'll have many more trophies at Liverpool. I'd love to see Liverpool beat Madrid in the Champions League final. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that completely. Everything you've said there, wholeheartedly agree. Trent, like I said, is my favourite player. And just watching the rise from Trent Alexander-Arnold from 17-18 season, you know, that Hoffenheim Champions League qualifier where he scores the free kick, his first assist when he went through Ben Davies, all those kind of things to what he is now. World-class player. His passing ability is as good as anybody I've ever seen, to be honest. He can dictate a game from a position where I've not seen anybody in England, at least, do that. I've not seen a right back come through at such a young age and just be able to sort of dictate how a whole team plays. Not just any old team, by the way, a team that's winning trophy after trophy. A team that can get 97, 98, 99 points in Premier League campaigns, all for a right back. It's insane. And he'll never get the respect he deserves from me. He never has done and he never will. I think Gareth Southgate is a huge part of that problem, because him not picking him for his stupid England team basically makes like this agenda that he's not getting picked because he can't defend. And it's not that he wasn't getting picked because he can't defend. He wasn't getting picked because Gareth Southgate doesn't know how to work a player like Trent Alexander-Arnold into his setup. And I think Lee Carsley, is it? That's the caretaker manager now. He's come in, and all of a sudden, Trent's back started for England. So, not that I really care, but it's just interesting, isn't it? A change of manager, and all of a sudden, Trent is the main man in the team. So, yeah, that's Trent Alexander-Arnold, guys. Let me know any closing thoughts on this. I think we would all like it to be done one way or another pretty quickly. I mean, if he's going to leave, we won't find out until probably near the end of the season. If he's going to sign, I mean, it could happen anytime, really. There's no real time frame on that. It could be tonight, it could be tomorrow, it could be next month, it could be however long it takes. But yeah, that's just hope for good news, eh? Moving on then, guys, we're gonna just briefly chat about Bologna. Now, I was actually at the game, and with these live streams, if I'm not at the match or on Saturday, I don't believe I'm going to the match, I will be on here straight away, straight after the game's finished, to discuss it with you guys. So make sure you've got your notifications on, make sure you're subscribing, make sure you're liking, and that way you will be engaged with the channel and you'll never miss a live stream or a video as well, because the videos aren't going anywhere either, of course. But Bologna, yeah, I was at the game, man. Really fortunate to have the Auto Cup scheme in the Champions League, which means I can basically go to any home Champions League match, which is just wonderful. But this was the situation. We won 2-0, and I'll tell you guys how I saw it from where I was sat, and then you guys can let me know if I'm right or wrong, because it's kind of difficult when you're at the match because you don't see as much as what you sound surprised by this, but you don't see as much as what you see on the telly. And by that I meant the first goal from where I was stood. It seemed a bit of a scramble, but it was an unreal ball from Salah into McAllister. But the build up to that, I can't actually remember what happened. I've not watched it back. So yeah, 2-0 win. I don't think it was an easy 2-0 win. And I saw a lot of people were saying, oh, we should rotate and we should do this and that, and Kwanzaa should come in, and Tsimikas should come in, and maybe even Bradley could come in. And look, I said that we should have made a few changes. I would have happily gone with Gakpo, Kwanzaa, and all those guys. But guys, Bologna did not make that game easy at all. And we lost to Nottingham Forest at home with our first team, with our first choice 11 that we had available. And it's like, if you want to rotate against Bologna, who didn't make that game easy for our first team, if Slot would have rotated yesterday, then this could have been a complete different game and a complete different scoreline. Because, like I said, Bologna, they weren't here to get rolled over. They weren't here to get steamrolled. You know, these European sides coming to Anfield, they want to go home. They want to go home making history. They don't want to go home getting battered. And Bologna, to be fair to them, they gave a real good account to themselves. Really good possession play around the back. I was surprised with how much their goalkeeper got involved with the play. It was absolutely insane. He was so comfortable as well with the ball at his feet. But yeah, not really too much to say. Two really nice goals. I think Slot covered it perfectly. They asked him, were you delighted by that? And he basically said, no, I'm delighted with the 2 goals. I'm delighted with the outcome of the game, but the performance wasn't there. And I completely agree with him. And I want to know your guys' thoughts on this, because there's been a lot of discourse on the Twitter sphere. Are you concerned? Are you confident? Are you happy? Let me know how you're seeing these first 9 games under Arne Slot, because at the end of the day, guys, he's the first ever Liverpool manager to get 8 out of his first 9 wins. No other Liverpool manager in the history of our football club has been able to do that, and Arne Slot has. And yes, I'm not going to act like there isn't weaknesses in the way we play. Yes, I'm not going to act like everything's perfect, but how could it ever be? You know, it's 9 games. No team, no manager going to a new football club has ever got everything set up after 9 games. I mean, Pep at Man City, his first season, I'm sure they got 4th, was it? And their team was a joke. And they spent ridiculous amounts of money. And yeah, so, you know, it's never easy for a manager to come into a team, especially when you're replacing Jurgen Klopp, the man. It's always hard to be the man to replace the man. So let me know what you guys think of Arne Slot's first 9 games, first of all. I'll tell you what I think and what I saw yesterday. Big up to NFC, obviously an amazing Liverpool channel as well. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you're liking, and K-Mac as well. Big up, mate. Hope you're good. But yeah, yesterday was okay the first 10-15 minutes, but I thought after like the 25th, I thought Bologna started to get into it. They started to cause a few problems, and I think they hit the bar a couple of times, didn't they? And they had a few half chances. Obviously, they put the ball in the back of the net, which was offside. And yeah, I mean, the first goal came after, 10-11 minutes from McAllister. But after that went in, a brilliant ball from Salah, by the way. And Salah's ball-playing ability and his link-up play and all those kind of things, it goes under the radar for me, because people just look at Mo Salah and they think goals. And rightly so. The guy is a serial goal scorer. He will score 20, 25, 30 goals year in, year out. But that cross yesterday was like so perfect, and not many people are talking about it. In fact, I went on Twitter after the game to see people saying that Salah didn't have a good game. And I'm thinking, yeah, okay, I don't know if he should have got man of the match, because personally, from what I saw at the game, Gravenberch was, again, our best player on the pitch. But to say that he didn't have a good game and there were, you know, things wrong with his game, for me, an attacker getting a goal and an assist, it's a job done. No matter what else happens after that match, during the match, that's job done for me. So Mo Salah, again, in the goals and the assists, wonderful player, and we'll get on to the record that he broke in just a moment. But yeah, routine in the end. I mean, I say routine, but again, it never felt like it was over until Salah scored the wonderful goal that he scored on his left foot. And it does seem like a while since Salah scored one of those types of goals, doesn't it? Where he's just opened it up onto his left and smacked it into the goal. They're always the best goals. And when you sat behind the goal, or level with the goal, when Salah lets it go off his left like that, you just know it's going in. And every single person in that ground yesterday knew as soon as Salah's hit that, it was going in the back of the net. So yeah, it was an incredible strike, incredible goal. Not really too much more to say on that, really. A few dodgy performances from a few players, but I did think, and look, I'm always a big firm believer in if you criticize a player, you have to praise a player when they play well. And I've been a big criticizer. I've been critical over Dominic Szoboszlai, if that's the word, over the last few weeks. However, I thought he played brilliantly yesterday. And I think that's the Dominic Szoboszlai that we all want to see on a regular basis. He could have scored. He could have got an amazing Scorpion assist if it had gone another way. But yeah, Dominic Szoboszlai, I thought, off the ball, you never really question his work rate off the ball, to be fair. Even if he's having a stinker on the ball, you know he's going to put the work rate in off the ball and do the defensive side of his game. I think the question mark for me, at least, has always been going forward when he's got the ball, when we're creating chances, when we've, sort of strung 4 or 5 together and now, okay, Dom, it's your turn now. Play that pass, play that final ball. And more often than not, he's not played the right pass, or he's underhit the pass, or he's overhit the pass. So for me, they're the only questions I've had with Dominic Szoboszlai. Off the ball, brilliant. But yesterday, I think we saw like the perfect combination of both. And like I say, on another day, he scores a goal and he could have walked away with an assist. So I think with Szoboszlai, he's just got to get that consistency now. He's just got to find that consistency and start playing like that week in, week out. And, at the end of the day, 60 million for us is it's a big money signing, guys. Let's not get it twisted. We don't normally drop 60 million on players. So, yeah, he's got to start being more consistent to live up to the, I don't know why that has just glitched out there, but he's got to start being more consistent. And I think he will, I do think he will. Whether this new slot system suits him or not remains to be seen, but we will see. But the main player again, which just closing on Bologna, I want to talk about is, and this ties in perfectly with another story that I want to talk about, Ryan Gravenberch, guys. Let me know your thoughts on Ryan Gravenberch in the comments. I want to know from you, okay? Was you a believer? And don't lie. Don't say you always knew Gravenberch was going to be a baller and all of this. I want to know the truth. I want to hear, did you see it when we signed Gravenberch? Because I did, but I want to know, did you? And second of all, I want to know, like, is there any midfielder on this planet right now on form that you would swap Ryan Gravenberch from? Because I know for me, there isn't right now. If you're basing it on form and from what we've seen this season, there's no player in the world, no midfielder right now that I would swap Ryan Gravenberch with. I think the form that he's found himself in is scary. The age bracket he's in, 22 years of age, and he's only going to be 23 when the season's finished. So going into next season, he's only going to have just turned 23, which is just mad. And yeah, I think the issue with Gravenberch was last season, obviously, he came in, he did really well initially, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, really good signing, 30 mil. And then I think he was sort of like in and out of the team, and he could never find that real run of form. And that's no fault to him. That's not really any fault to Klopp because, he had his players that he trusted, didn't he, more than anyone else. And yeah, maybe there were games where Gravenberch should have played more, but I just feel like with him, it was always the game time that he needed. And now he's getting the game time, and you can see what a serious player he is, And for 30 million that we signed him for, we fleeced Bayern Munich. We absolutely fleeced them because this is a 70, 80 million pound midfielder. I do not care what anybody says to me. In a world where Declan Rice is going for 100 million, a 22-year-old Ryan Gravenberch should be on par with that. And look, I'm not saying let's put a price tag on him to sell him. I'm just relieved, to be honest, because I'm not relieved. Maybe that's the wrong word. I'm very happy because we all knew Gravenberch when he was 18. When Ryan Gravenberch came through at Ajax, we all knew the name. We all knew how much of a talent he was. Then when he went to Bayern Munich for 20 million, was like, well, how have they got him for that price? It was an opportunity for Bayern Munich, but not necessarily the right signing for them and not necessarily the right move for Gravenberch because he comes into a team that already have Joshua Kimmich, Leon Goretzka, and all these midfielders, and he couldn't get a game. And Tuchel, when we signed him, literally said as well that he's the reason why Gravenberch hasn't been playing because I've not been able to put him in the team. He can't get in because we don't really use 2-8s and we don't see him as a DM. So Tuchel didn't play him and he took a year out of the game, basically, signed for us. Obviously, his first season was going to be a bit in and out and sort of here, there, and everywhere, right? He was never going to come in last season on the back of not playing for a whole year and just absolutely smash it. But it's took a year now to get used to the system. I know it's changed slightly. A new country, a new city, a new football club, new coaches, new players, new team. All of those combinations and factors, right? And now we're seeing how good he is. Now we're seeing the hype. Now we're seeing the name Ryan Gravenberch that we all knew was going to be a top player. We're seeing it right in front of our very eyes. And, after the Ajax moved to Bayern Munich, people started to lose hope in him. But I just think it's a huge credit to him, to be honest, how he's just been able to just forget about that year at Bayern where he barely played, almost forget about last season again where he's in and out of the team. And this season just kick on. And this season he's just been immense. He's been our best player for me. Every single game on Saturday, and I thought, who's man of the match this game? And it's been him. Pretty much 90% of the games, I think, this season. I think there's been a couple, actually, where it's been Luis Diaz. But, yeah, for me, Ryan Gravenberch, super, super talent. Not going to say generational just yet. If he ends up, doing this for the whole season, then I'll say it. But for now, super, super talent. I'm absolutely buzzing with him. Just the way he glides on the pitch with the football at his feet. When he takes that touch away from the player, they can't get anywhere near him because his legs are too long. He's too strong. He's quick. And he's got the technical ability to just keep the ball like it's glued to his feet. And he's insane at that. And yeah, like I said, United tried to get him. I'm so glad that we actually got him. And by the way, just finishing on Gravenberch, I remember at the time of signing him, people were like, oh, he's not what we need, actually. We don't need him. And yeah, maybe so. Maybe at the time we did need a number 6, a natural number 6, more than Gravenberch, because obviously we had Klopp, and Klopp's number 6s were more sort of like destroyers. And Gravenberch isn't a destroying 6. He's a technical 6. He's strong and he's tall, but he's not a Fabinho type of 6. So at the time, maybe those guys had a point. But there was no reason why we couldn't have wanted or needed both. And we could have separated those two arguments. Okay, yeah, fine. We need a number 6. We need a natural 6. But we can also need this amazing, incredible super talent, which is Ryan Gravenberch. And I'm absolutely delighted, again, like I keep saying it, that he is a Liverpool player. And we're just going to quickly move on from Ryan Gravenberch to that is not what we're going to do. We're not going to do that. I am very sorry, guys. I have not streamed for a very long time. I was last streaming with the Anfield Talk months ago, so please forgive me. I want to talk about this kid, Jayden Danns. Now, Jayden Danns has put on his social media, guys, that he is back running. Let me know what you think of Jayden Danns. Is this big for the first team? Is this guy going to just go straight back into the academy? Let me know what you think. Because for me, I don't think it's out of the question that Jayden Danns, he might go back into the under 20, is it 21s or 23s? I can't remember. I don't think it's obviously out of the question that he's going to go back in there to get his fitness and sharpness back up. Of course, he's not played football this season. He didn't have a preseason either. He was obviously supposed to go on loan to Plymouth. That didn't happen because of his injury. But let's not forget how much we were hyping him up last season, in those games where we needed another option. Came on in the final, actually, and did really well. Other games came on, scored a goal. Harvey Elliott, beautiful assist. Is there a world where you guys can see Jayden Danns coming back into the first team? Because, I don't think it's out of the question, to be honest. I really don't. And the reason why I don't think it's out of the question is because has Arne Slot got his number 9 set in stone? Do you guys think there's a number 9 that Slot thinks that is my number 9 and my decision isn't going to be changed? Okay, it looks like at this moment in time, Diogo is his preferred choice. He's had the most minutes. He's had the most games up front. And Nunes has had a cameo here and a cameo there. He started the other week, scored a worldie. But it's not really worked out for Nunes so far under Arne Slot. But Jayden Danns, at 18 years of age, I think he's 18, he's back now. He's running. Well, he's not back. He's running. But he's on his way back. He didn't go out on loan. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe for the cup games, he might get on the bench and take it from there and see how he gets on. But yeah, super talent, guys. I mean, the finishing that this guy has behind him is a joke. And Lewis says underneath, Jayden Danns via his social media is back up running and he's eligible to play in the UEFA Youth League for LFC under 19s, which is a big boost for them. And I'm pretty sure that he will get plenty of minutes in that competition. So, Jaden Dans, if you're watching live, let me know your comments and thoughts on Jaden Dans. And also make sure if you're watching on the replay, you leave a comment as well, and we will reply to some of the best ones. In fact, we'll reply to them all. Of course we will. So, yeah, moving on. Let's talk about Mo Salah briefly because I've already spoken about him. Mo Salah became the highest scoring African player in the Champions League history, which is nuts because, you know, you look at the players that he's had to overcome, like Eto'o and Drogba and all of those guys, even Sadio Mane, his own former teammate. I think Salah's going to set a record and set a number that won't be beaten. I really do. And, yeah, I mean, I just don't understand Liverpool fans that have an agenda against Salah, to be honest, because there has been games where, okay, Salah might not have played well, but he scored a goal. And like I said at the start, if an attacker is scoring or assisting or doing both, which he did yesterday, that's their job done. The rest is up to the rest of the team. So there has been games where he's done neither and he's had a bad game and he's not scored, and that's fine. You know, it happens. It happens to the best players in the world. So it's like, it's acceptable for Salah from what he's done over the last 7 or 8 years for Liverpool to have an off day. He's earned that right to, okay, he's not going to score a goal every single game. So yeah, I just don't see why people are so harsh on him and hold him to this. Maybe it is actually because they hold him to a high standard. Maybe because they know how good he is, and it's just like they know what he can do or what he can deliver. But I don't see yesterday being a game or an example of a game where you can criticize Salah, not when he gets a goal and an assist, and both were really good. Like, yeah, he could have potentially done more, but I don't think the whole front three were functioning, especially in the first half. I think the front three came alive when Cody Gakpo came on. When Nunes went off for Gakpo, and I love Nunes, but when Gakpo came on, sorry, was it Nunes for Jota and Gakpo for Diaz? I think it was. So when Gakpo and Jota came on, I think that's when our front three really started to get into the game. And to be honest, is that the front three? I'll start. Let's actually get into that. Let's finish the stream with this, guys. So we've got Palace on Saturday. Is that the front three that you guys would start that finish that game? Jota, Gakpo, and Salah. Let me know. But this is basically, what is this advert? Wow, I do not know what that is. This is Palace's last result, their last Premier League result. They lost 2-1 to Everton. Okay, which is just ridiculous because if you're losing at Everton, listen, I probably should keep my mouth shut. But based on Everton's start to the season, that is pretty poor. But this was the lineup that they went with, so we'll sort of try and decide whether this is going to be their lineup for the game on Saturday. So it's Dean Henderson in goal, Jefferson Lerma at left. It's left centre back, isn't it? Mark Guehi, Maxence Lacroix, very good on FIFA. Mitchell, Kamada, Wharton, Munoz, Eze, Mateta, and Nketiah. So for me, there's two, in my eyes at least, there's two threats in this team. Eze and Mateta. Both of them are really good. I think Mateta's had the better season so far. He's scoring all sorts of goals. But Eze is Eze, and he can cause problems. He can score free kicks. He's amazing at set pieces. And would definitely have to be switched on regarding Eberechi Eze. Mateta, big man up front. He can cause problems. He scored a penalty, I think, Selhurst Park last season. I was there with my brother, so I should remember. Harvey Elliott scored the winning goal. I think it was a penalty that he scored, I think, once, and maybe gave the penalty away. But let me know what you think of this, guys. If that's their lineup coming in, well, we're going to them again, aren't we? So if that's their lineup at Selhurst Park on Saturday, are you confident with all 3 points? Because I am. Let's look at their bench. Sarr. Oh, we know all about him, don't we, from Wolves? Not Wolves, Watford. That game, was it 3-0? Shocking. Jeffrey Schlupp, Will Hughes, Matt Turner, Joel Ward, Nathaniel Klein, Trevor. Yeah, listen, guys. If we have high hopes and ambitions this season, which I do, we can't really be worried about this team. The only thing that worries me about that is the half 12. The half 12 kickoff will always worry me, no matter who the team is that we're playing against or where it is, even if it's home or away. 12:30 on the Saturday for us is a worry. And obviously, we just played quite a high intense game in the Champions League on the Wednesday night. So, look, I think we should win, and I think we will win. Is it going to be an easy game? Probably not. Is it going to be a scruffy game? Probably yes. So, yeah, if I was to give my prediction right now, I would probably say two. You know what? I'm going to say 2-0. I'll say 2-0, but not an easy 2-0. Similar to yesterday, where it was like the other team grows into the game as the game goes on. You score maybe in the first half, you go into half time, and then you score again in the second half. You get the win. That's how I think it would go anyway. It might be closer. It might be way closer than that. Who knows? But let me know in the comments what you guys think of the game on Saturday. Is it going to be a routine win? Is it a potential banana skin? But yeah, I do have a strong feeling, and why shouldn't I? You know, Slot's got us back where we want to be, winning games without necessarily playing the best way. And people will say, "Is that a worry to you?" No, it's not a worry. The play style, if this continues and we go on and we're in like February and you might still see the same weaknesses and we're not getting the wins, then fair enough. But again, like I said at the start of the stream, let me get this off now because we don't need this. Like I said at the start of the stream, no manager has ever been perfect in 9 games. Like, it's impossible. How can you be? Especially when he's changed pretty much everyone in the backroom staff. You know, it's impossible for a manager to be near enough perfect. So, yeah, we'll see. But let's get back into some comments. You guys are back talking about Trent. Let's finish up on Trent. First of all, I'm going to try and change the way the comments look because they are ridiculous. Give me 1 second whilst I try and sort this. Maybe it's because of that. All right, let's get these comments up. Okay, that might be even worse. Minimal. I think this is the one. Okay, let's see. Neil says there is no way Trent will leave. He wants to be captain of his boyhood club. The transition from Klopp to Slot at the moment is more than we were all expecting, but he looks really energized. I agree, and I think his defensive work as well this season has gone massively, massively undernoticed. And look, if Trent gets rinsed and they score a goal, he's the first one to get clipped. He's the first one that they laugh at. But on the other hand, when Trent's defending really well and stopping goals from going in, they don't say anything. Neil says the team does, but I don't think it was right to let his contract be in that situation. But I am confident it was sign a contract. Listen, I agree with you, Neil. TAA is great, but doesn't fit Slot ball. Not sure about that, V. I disagree. Sad to see his Scouser leave, but it's for nah. Come on, man. Neil says Gravenberch, VVD, Gakpo, Salah, Diaz are all like different players. It's like having new signings with the way the players have responded to Slot. I agree. This is no like you can praise Slot and you can say good things about Slot without it being a dig at Klopp. And I think some people have struggled with that, but I think maybe just a new change of tactics has suited some players. No player is above the club. I agree with that. I never disagreed with what you said there. And now you're just being a bit of a weirdo. So, yeah, see you later. But yeah, Trent, I think. Look, we don't know, do we? It's all speculation. It's all predictions. I feel like with Twitter and with what we saw tonight, you'll see one report from Spain and all the negative Nancy's and all the big pages that want to get clicks and views and stuff. They'll go heavy on that. And when a positive one comes out, which it did about from Fabrizio Romano, they don't give that the same energy. And it's like, well, some people are picking and choosing which they want to see and which they want to believe. So when something's really negative and really bad, it must be true. But then on the other hand, when something that's come in might be good news, actually Fabrizio is waffling. I just don't understand it, you know? It's just like, if it's negative, it must be true, sort of thing. But we'll see. I don't know your name, mate. X21, maybe. I don't know. Boredom causes anxiety. Trent going nowhere. He's staying. Let's all hope so, mate. Fingers crossed. Because look, I keep saying it, he's my favorite player, but not only from a personal point of view, because he's my favorite player, he makes the team better. And I don't know what V's comment was all about, saying he doesn't suit slot ball. I don't know what he's been watching, to be honest. Has he got the assist numbers that he was getting in 18, 19, or 19, 20? No. Is he still influencing games? Yes. Has his defensive game got drastically better than it has been? Yes. So I don't understand how we can say it doesn't suit slot ball. That comment's really like confused me, to be honest. And let's face it, before like this Spaniard, whoever this guy is, came out and put that report out tonight, nobody's been questioning Trent. No one's been sat here and saying, you know what, Trent's not been doing this, or Trent's not been giving his all, or Trent's this, Trent's that. Again, it's when people see something negative, it just gets spiraled, it's like snowballs out of control. But then when Fabrizio says something that could be seen as positive, the same energy is not there. It's not given. But like I said, we will see, guys. And I'm going to wrap it up there for tonight. It was just the first little stream for myself. There's going to be way more streams coming. You know, when big news comes, we're going to just quickly jump on here and talk about it like we did tonight. I'm going to get guests on here as well, especially for like previews. There's going to be guests from other clubs that support other teams coming on here talking about the upcoming games. Like I said, on Saturday, I'm going to be on here giving an instant match reaction. So make sure you're here as soon as the game finishes on Saturday, and we can discuss it. If you're watching this on the replay, make sure you're smashing the like button. If you're still here, make sure you're smashing the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's make sure we hit that 60k as soon as we possibly can. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Take care and goodbye for now.